How Pep Guardiola transformed Manchester City into a giant.
It doesn't matter what we do against Man City. At the end of the season, we want to see us at the top. It doesn't matter. Okay, at the moment, we have a neighbour, and sometimes neighbours are noisy.
Is what the great Sir Alex Ferguson had to say about Manchester City back in 2009. 13 years later, Manchester City changed their status from the noisy neighbours to the dominant ones. Manchester City has won 4 of the last 5 Premier League titles, which might give an idea about their dominance in recent times. What changed? The answer is simple: Josep Pep Guardiola Sola. Many might argue that the oil money is the real reason behind City's recent success. But that's not it. A stat shows that Chelsea and Manchester United have also spent close to Manchester City in the last decade, but the returns have not been the same. Pep Guardiola joined Manchester City in 2016 and took no time to take over the Premier League. Let's have a look at how Pep Guardiola transformed Manchester City. Before Pep Guardiola, there was Manuel Pellegrini, who enjoyed a successful run of 3 years at the helm of Manchester City. During his term, Pellegrini won a Premier League title in the 2013-14 season and 2 Carabao Cups. However, Pellegrini faced a fair share of tactical problems as he went through long spells of sticking to the same formation despite poor results. Pep Guardiola took over an aging City squad that lacked pace and couldn't press aggressively. Manchester City initially wanted to sign Pep Guardiola in 2012, but missed out on the deal as the Spaniard went on to lead Bayern Munich in Germany. However, Manchester City was well prepared to sign Pep Guardiola in 2017. The Blues got in some major names from Barcelona, with whom Pep Guardiola was comfortable working in the past. Man City signed Ferran Soriano as their CEO, Xique Bagirstein as their director of football, and Dr. Mari to make Pep Guardiola feel at home in Manchester. Pep Guardiola was arguably one of the best managers in the world, with his legendary run with Barcelona and Bayern Munich. However, many of the English media were not convinced whether his methodologies would work in the Premier League. Nevertheless, Pep answered all their queries. Upon his arrival at Manchester City, Pep Guardiola quickly identified some major setbacks in the squad. Firstly, the team had an aging squad, with only Watford, Stoke, and West Brom having higher average squad ages than City. Additionally, there were players whose skill sets didn't match Guardiola's preferred style of play, including Wilfried Bony, who lacked technical ability, and Joe Hart and Elia Mangala, who were not proficient with the ball. Reports also suggest that superstars Yaya Toure and Samir Nasri lacked the necessary discipline to be part of Guardiola's team. In his first season at Manchester City, Pep Guardiola made significant changes to the squad, bringing in talented players like Ilkay Gundogan, Alexander Zinchenko, Nolito, Leroy Sane, Claudio Bravo, and Gabriel Jesus. At the same time, he offloaded aging and underperforming players such as Mangala, Joe Vetic, Martin Demichelis, Nasri, Joe Hart, Jay Novas, and Bony. Guardiola's approach was to replace the old guard with some of the best young talents in the world at that time. Despite these major changes, Guardiola struggled to find his best side during the first season and experimented with 8 different formations over 38 matches. Nonetheless, Manchester City saw significant improvements under Guardiola's management, scoring more goals, conceding fewer, and maintaining better possession compared to the previous season under Manuel Pellegrini. Having said that, Pep Guardiola didn't win any silverware with Man City in his first season and finished 3rd in the Premier League. It was a decent season, but there was still pressure mounting over Guardiola as he was accused of not adapting to the style of the Premier League. What did Pep Guardiola say about the start he got in his first season? "Yeah, I don't know what would have happened had we not been able to win the games. I can assure you something, my players always run. And after that, we must try to play as well as possible to achieve the result and win the games. But first is to play good, and to play good, you have to run, and I was pretty sure we could do that. In some moments, we played really well. It's just the quality of the intelligence of these players. You can make a training session. You can say this or that. Some understand quickly, Some need more time. Most get it quickly. That is why we are a little surprised about how fast, in some moments, we have been in our 3 games. We played really well. Not for 90 minutes, that is not normal, but how stable the players are. In terms of full games, we have to improve a lot. Yesterday I saw the game v Stoke City again and thought about many things we must improve. But in the short time we have spent together, we have made many good things. That is why I am confident that it will remain this way, and we will have solidarity and help each other. We can achieve good things. After his initial success in rejuvenating Manchester City's squad, Pep Guardiola continued to make bold moves in the transfer market. In the next transfer window, he brought in talented players such as Ederson, Bernardo Silva, Danilo, Kyle Walker, Benjamin Mendy, and Aymeric Laporte. As a result, Manchester City became the 6th youngest squad in the league, signaling Guardiola's intent to build a long-term, dynamic team. With the new additions to the squad, Guardiola had the team he needed to dominate English football. In his second season at the club, Guardiola led Manchester City to their first Premier League title with an astonishing 100 points, finishing a remarkable 29 points clear of second-placed Manchester United. This triumph established City's dominance, with the team going on to win 3 out of the 4 league titles in the seasons that followed. Pep Guardiola built and created one of the best teams in the history of the Premier League. However, he still has one trophy missing from his cabinet: the Champions League. He had come close to winning the Champions League in 2021 but eventually lost to rivals Chelsea in the final. With the inclusion of Erling Haaland this season, we might see Pep Guardiola achieving his long-lasting dream of winning the Champions League trophy since 2011. His status as the world's best tactician means top players will want to join the club. He guarantees success and improves the players he works with. That is attractive to every top professional. The club want him to attract the best, play beautiful football, deliver European success, help develop the club's academy, and bring through the best youth prospects and turn them into world stars. It's a difficult remit, but the Catalan will have the resources available to achieve the club's dreams. If he does, he will have created a culture of success, rather than continued one like he has done in his 2 previous managerial posts. Guardiola is a visionary, an obsessive student of the game whose attention to detail, desire to win, clear thinking, and bold ideas have already improved City at every level. Whereas at Barcelona it was about returning them to the pinnacle of the game, and at Bayern it was about maintaining their position as one of the best club sides in the world. At City his task is far greater. But if he can achieve the club's ambitions, in 3-4 more years, the rewards will be far greater, too.